show. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest tonight is an Emmy award-winning actor, New York Times bestselling author, and professional woodworker. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Nick Offerman.
Happiness. I guess I wish you all the best.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Good to see you.
You do me great honor.
Oh, you do us great honor by being here. We got the new book right here. I'm very excited. I wish I had a little woodchuck to give this one to. This is your new book is Little Woodchucks, Offerman Woodshop's Guide to Tools and Tomfoolery.
That's right.
An introduction to woodworking for kids. How old were you when you first started working with the tools?
Well, my folks started teaching me to use tools around when my whiskers came in, so 4 or 5. And you know, it's Little Woodchucks ages 6 to 60, because I know a lot of grown-up woodchucks who also don't know how to use tools.
Sure.
I was probably 8 or 9 when my dad and my uncles and my grandpa, started seeing if I could reach the gas pedal on the pickup truck. Or every year, Dad would try me out on the chainsaw on my birthday.
Try you out on the chainsaw?
Well, yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, you don't want to just throw me out there in the woods. You want to make sure I'm not going to cut my foot off. So I failed the first few years.
How does one fail chainsaw?
It's very heavy.
Oh.
So you got to be able to pick it up and hold it and exhibit confidence and safe practices.
Could you actually?
That's part of it.
Hand start part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I mean, that's the thing in a family that makes things together. That's part of your training. Is your kid sees you baking bread or sewing a button on your shirt. And eventually, they want to do that too, and they understand that that's part of being in a family. And so that's what this book is all about, is like learning to do things together as a family that require no screens, that require eye contact, and feeling the strength, like taking your measure.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll send you up on the roof. You can do some shingling.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah,
all right.
Very nice.
I'll hold the ladder.
I gotta hit the zone. There you go. Well, do you remember the first time you made something you were really proud of out of wood?
Yeah, I mean, I got to help my dad do a lot of stuff, so I always felt like a kid helping Dad or Uncle,
and you were handy.
Uncle Dan or Uncle Don. And I was becoming handy, But it wasn't, in high school, I made a blanket chest for a girlfriend.
A blanket chest, like the foot of the bed, kind of like?
Yeah. It was. I saw plans for it somewhere, and on the inside of the lid, I burned, I was trying to get kissed. I wood burned a Bible verse, Ecclesiastes 3:4, time to weep, time to laugh, a time to pork, and it's a time. It's a time to.
I love the King James translation. So they say Shakespeare worked on that.
She was a dancer, so one of them is dance.
The dance, okay.
And also, or plow. A time to dance, a time to plow.
Slight difference, a subtle difference there. And did you get the kiss?
I got kissed.
All right. Okay, sell me. You've already sold me on why we should give the sharp things to children. Now, something people may not understand is that sharp is actually important. Sharp is safe.
That's right. It's a common misconception that you don't want to give a sharp tool to a kid. First of all, when we're using tools or you're around farm equipment, anytime that's the case, no matter who you are, we say safety first. We're going to protect our eyes and our ears. You say, this is a chisel, that's a saw, that's a combine, don't put your hand in it, It'll hurt your feelings. So we take it dead seriously, and with kids, like in the book, we teach them to whittle twigs and make them into little animals. It's one of the first projects. And if you use a dull blade, which you think, oh, that'll be safer, I'll give them a dull blade. Imagine trying to carve something with a butter knife. You have to use more muscle, and you're more likely to slip and poke yourself. But if you use a sharp blade and the right techniques, then it's much safer and it carves like butter.
A razor-sharp butter knife.
That's right.
You mentioned poet Wendell Berry in the introduction to this book. Is there a line of poetry that captures your feeling about woodworking?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of I really would love to just have a job announcing Wendell Berry poetry to the world. But there's one, on like my website, the quote is, "It all turns on affection." That's a big one for me. But the one that applies to the shop, in fact, we have it hanging in the shop, is "Good work is our joy and salvation."
Oh, that's what this is. I was wondering what this was. Oh, there it is.
Oh, hell.
That's beautiful. That's
okay.
That's carved into wood.
It is by, so for fans of Parks and Recreation, there's an episode where Ron goes, right on. There's an episode where Ron is in the Indiana Woodworking show, and he freaks out because across the arena he sees Christian Bexvoort, the modern master of the shaker style. And he's a real guy, he's like a real hero of mine, and we flew him in from deepest Maine and put him on the show, and it's so funny. They pan over to him, and he's standing there holding a cup of tea with like the tea bag hanging off. and Ron freaks out like he's seeing Mickey Mantle or something. But so Christian and I became friends, and he made that plaque and sent it to us.
That's lovely.
And what it's all, I mean, absolutely. He's a truly celebrated and beautiful woodworker, and what that quote is about is that I've learned through the values of my family that good work is what it's all about. It's what that episode of The Last of Us was about, like realizing who are your people and your purpose is living in service of them. And so there's not a lot you can do on your phone or your iPad that you get done and you're like, Mom and Dad, you're welcome. But if you make things together, even if you're making a card and just doing a clumsy drawing, that's going to deliver so much love to your family member, and that's good work. And what Wendell Berry's talking about is looking around. He's often talking about farmers, looking at who's making your food. Is it any good? We should know these things. You know, is it a company that's making your food for profit, or do they care about your nutrition? And it's all in woodworking as well. You want to know, where did your tree come from? Are we making these things, caring about the creation that they come from, or are we just participating in consumerism?
We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Nick Offerman, everybody. Stick around.